Seasoned with Grace Unboxed presents Tune Up Tuesdays. This live weekly event is here to provide you and your family with tools for stronger family relationships. And now, here are your hosts, Doctors Robert and Denise Davis.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tune Up Tuesdays presented by Seasoned with Grace Unboxed. Over the past few months, we have focused on what Dr. Murray Bowens said about becoming more aware of our family and ultimately becoming more emotionally mature. For the past few months, we have been sharing with you parts of theory and trying to also share practical advice on how you can accomplish a few things. Number one, identify who in your family affects your emotional reaction. How your family has helped to pre-program the way we react emotionally, and what it means to reprogram our emotional computer and move towards becoming more emotionally mature.
In order to help us reprogram our emotional computer, we look at three key definitions: family system, emotional maturity, and emotional reactivity. And so what's the definition of family system, Family system is anyone who is part of our immediate or family of origin, whether we are in contact with them or not. Another way of looking at it is anyone we are in regular relationship with. So we take that even beyond just biological family to church, workplace, community organizations, social clubs, etc. The second definition that we looked at was emotional maturity, and this is being able to be active in a relationship while maintaining your own individuality. This is one of the key definitions of emotional maturity. I can be active in a relationship while maintaining my own individuality. In other words, getting to the place where my personality, character, and temperament is consistent in all relationships and across all relationships. But another way of looking at emotional maturity is being responsible for my own emotions and my own reactions. We talked about moving away from blaming others for the way we choose to respond and react. While others can create certain stimulus, I choose how I want to respond to that particular stimulus. And then the last part of emotional maturity that we looked at was emotional maturity is not allowing others to control your emotions, as well as not trying to control other people's emotions. So the emotional maturity had a very broad definition to it, a lot of different parts, moving components. The third thing that we looked at was emotional.
It was a very good definition, though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The third thing we looked at was emotional reactivity, and it was so wonderful I tried to start it at the beginning. Emotional reactivity, and this is the mindless, automatic, instinctive behaviors that govern how we respond in relationships.
Wow, okay. So before Robert reads Bowen's quote like we've been doing each week, the quote that we've been working on, let me emphasize another quick point for us. Emotional maturity is not a few tricks and techniques that we use to control other people. Here at Seasoned with Grace Unboxed, we focus on helping families and leaders go through the process of reprogramming their emotional computers. The point being, this is a lifelong work. We believe the following is the essence of emotional maturity. It is to understand who I have been programmed to be, and to make an informed decision to change the emotional programming that governs my life, to apply the principles of purposeful living to my life, and to be intentional about changing me, and only me, is to be well-defined, differentiated, emotionally mature person. Robert, can you read Murray Bowens' statement for us, please?
I sure will. Murray Bowens, Family Therapy and Clinical Practice, page 436 says, when any key member of the family can accurately observe what is going on in their family, as well as the part that they play in it, when they can control their own emotional reactions, when they can avoid counterattacking when they are provoked, and when they can maintain an active relationship with the other key members of their family without withdrawing, emotionally checking out, or becoming silent, the entire system will change in a series of predictable steps. This is the essence of producing change in your family's system. This is the method of coaching one person through the predictable functioning of their family system and supervising their efforts to modify their own functioning in all other relationships. So starting next week and for the next few months, we're going to discuss aspects of how we interact with our families that has the potential of changing us in such a profound way that it will impact the entire family dynamics in a series of predictable steps. Denise, put simply, there are things that I can change about me that will help to improve all of my family dynamics. More than that, that will help to improve all of my relationships.
Okay, so Robert, our experience has been that people are willing to make changes in order to change other people. We tell families that this is actually manipulation and that people hate being manipulated.
Yeah, and we've discussed that before. One of the things is that if I'm making changes just as a little technique, I'm going to try this technique in order to get you to do what I want you to do. That is not actually a change. That is a manipulation strategy. Because you think about it this way. If I can use another way to get you to do what I want you to do, then I'm not actually changing. I'm actually just using another technique. So if I say, well, you know what, I can accomplish this goal by doing something another way, which will actually be even simpler than the way that I'm currently doing it, that's just learning a technique. But the change that we really want to obtain and attain is the change that changes who we are at the core of our essence, at the core of our being, and that's what we're trying to move and progress toward.
Okay, well, think about it like this. You didn't say, I'm going to get an education so I can make everyone smarter. In fact, you said, I'm going to get an education so that I can be smarter.
Yeah.
Here's the catch. By getting an education and improving your life, it automatically had an impact on the life of your family. What we're suggesting is that you improve how you relate and interact in the family relationship, and it will automatically have an impact on your entire family. But you have to focus on you.
That is so true. I think we should address the elephant in the room because it has had an impact in our marriage relationship over the years. And that is, what are you supposed to do when you've been working on yourself and trying to improve yourself, and the other member or members of the family seem to try and to sabotage you? And I know that can
Sabotage.
be sabotage. Because a lot of times what ends up happening is you say, well, I'm going to work on me. I'm going to work on being more patient, more loving, or whatever those things are, the characters that you want to develop. And it seems to have no impact on your family. You're like, man, they're just as rude. They're just as, cantankerous and bickering as they ever were. And I can actually see where I've made some improvements. And sometimes I tell you, this is where it really gets cute, is where not only are they not making any progress, but in actuality, sometimes it appears that, my family is regressing or becoming more aggressive, becoming more hostile, or becoming, less cooperative, or whatever it may be.
I was going to say it always gets worse before it gets better. It's like, I hate to say family like children, but it's like children. You either ignore behavior or decide to praise another behavior. In therapy, that's another term. But you decide to pay attention to another behavior and ignore the behavior that you're trying to change or improve or whatever. And it's going to be heightened first before it gets better. Number two, who says your family didn't change as you're working on your patience? What does that say about your patience?
And you hit on something here, and I want to just kind of delve a little deeper into it. And that's this right here. Families like normalcy. That's the big thing. Families like, and not just families, but human beings, we like normalcy. We like things to be predictable. In reality of the matter is, people do not like change. I don't like change. So families like normalcy. And so families, spouses, children, church members, co-workers will try to resist. And I used the term sabotage earlier. They'll try to resist or to sabotage efforts for change. Matter of fact, I like the way that one of the authors that I read, Roberta M. Gilbert, and she has to be smart because My name is Robert. Her name is Roberta, so she has to be a smart person. But she has this awesome book. Roberta M. Gilbert has an awesome book called Extraordinary Relationships, and I'd encourage each of you to read
went
it.
back to you.
Yeah.
Roberta. Okay.
Roberta M. Gilbert.
Okay.
I gotta take credit for her work, okay? Even though I've never met the lady, I have to take credit for her work. Now, I will say this. She used to teach the postgraduate program. She was one of the teachers at the postgraduate program at the Bowens Center. So I am being taught by some of the people that she used to teach.
So somehow you're still credited.
Yes, Roberta.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So somehow I'm in there. I'm putting myself all up in the mix. All up in that mix.
Differentiated person.
This is what Roberta M. Gilbert says before I was interrupted. She says the family system is disturbed when any family member moves toward a slightly higher level of emotional maturity.
Makes sense.
And it will move automatically to restore the family system to its former equilibrium.
So people will heighten their behavior.
Yeah, they will. They will modify their behavior.
So people will become more aggressive, so you become less patient.
Yes. And let me finish reading because I want us to discuss the whole thing.
Okay.
Thus, any small step toward differentiation or emotional maturity is accompanied by a small emotional upheaval in the family system. This pattern is so predictable that the absence of an emotional reaction is good evidence that your move to become emotionally mature was not successful.
Interesting.
Because families, like human beings, we want a certain amount of normalcy. You want to share. I want to read the rest of it. Go. You want to share.
Oh no, I said what I said.
Okay. So that's the reality. Families will push back because we push back on change. We push back on growth. That's just part of human nature. And as we shared before, there are 3 responses that you can expect for years to come as you improve your emotional maturity. And the first one is you are wrong, or some version of that. You're wrong.
I remember
the
that
second
lesson.
one is you should change back. And we talked about that. You should change back, which can be
old Robert.
Yeah, I missed old Robert. You need to be back to who you are. I missed old Denise. And then we see this a lot of times with individuals who go through addiction recovery.
That's true.
Individuals will say, I don't know who you are now.
Right.
Yeah. So you should change back, which can be communicated in many different ways. And the third way is if you don't change back, these are the consequences. That's the threat. If you don't change back, these are the consequences. So as you begin to improve your emotional maturity, which means that you're going to be less engaging in the family gossip, taking sides, the cliques, which means that you're going to be less reactive, which means you're going to find yourself engaging in less toxic activities and things of that nature. You're going to have individuals. You are wrong. You should change back. If you don't change back, then these are the consequences. Because change does not come easy, Denise.
That's true.
First, you have to fight yourself. Second, you have to fight your family pulling at you to change back. And so you should expect that this thing is going to be difficult, and you have to put yourself in the mindset that I'm going to have to be in this thing for the long haul.
You will see some changes immediately in yourself.
In yourself, and that's the main point. And here's the good news. Here's the good news, Denise. It's worth the effort in the long haul. The tranquility you'll experience is worth the energy you'll expend.
Like that. Did you make that up?
I made that up, yes.
Oh, brother.
Yes. Roberta M. Gilbert was named after me, but I made that up.
Good
the
job.
Tranquility you'll experience is worth the energy you'll expend. Yeah. And that's the big picture. That becoming more emotionally mature is about bringing tranquility to myself. As I shared before, I do work with individuals who are in addiction recovery as part of some of our community programs at Season with Grace Unboxed. And one of the things that we've redone the whole tranquility prayer, and it goes like this. When we do this part, Lord, grant me the serenity to accept that I cannot change people, the courage to change the only person I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I'm going to say that one more time. And yes, I did that rewrite. I saw you looking at me. I did that rewrite. Lord, grant me the tranquility to accept that I cannot change people, the courage to change the only person I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And the tranquility that you receive when you really come to that acceptance. This is not about changing other people. It's about changing myself. It's the tranquility you receive, using addiction again, from knowing that you're no longer controlled by a particular substance or particular behavior or lifestyle. The tranquility you receive knowing that others do not have power over your emotional reactions and over your feelings. And that is so liberating. That is so liberating. It is freeing.
I'm impressed by your quotes, I must say. Okay, you're a thinker.
Oh, thank you. And I want to encourage those of you who are watching this. Tomorrow we're going to post our blog post, and then also if you work in the if you are a business owner or a leader of any kind, you have to check out Workplace Wednesdays.
Oh, yes.
My friend Rafael Soriano and myself, we do a podcast on every other Wednesday, first and third Wednesdays, on how to improve workplace relationships and how to become more of an authentic leader. And so I want to encourage you to tune in to that. Denise, do you have any homework for us this week?
Do I have any homework for them this week? Okay, so for this week, journal your awareness responses. Number 1, identify one or more things about how your family of origin handled anxiety and conflict that you want to continue to be a part of your life. Yeah.
Because I guess what you're saying is it's not all doom and gloom.
No. So whatever your family takeaway is,
Yes.
and do you want to continue that? Identify that. Identify one or more things about how your family of origin handled anxiety and conflict that you do not want to continue to be a part of your life.
Wow, can you read that one more time? The homework assignment was just one more time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Identify.
For people like me who read the short bus, can you read that one more time?
So funny. So identify one or more things about how your family of origin handled anxiety and conflict that you want to continue to be a part of your life. And then also identify one or more things about how your family of origin handled anxiety and conflict that you do not want to continue to be a part of your life.
Wow. Season of Grace Unboxed wants you to stay safe during this difficult time. We are praying that things return to normal soon. Remember, we talked about we like normalcy.
Yeah.
We wanted to return, man. This
We
is
want it timely and safely.
yes. But I like that. We want it timely and we want it safely. So please follow local and federal directives. Wash your hands, disinfect your surroundings, and use hand sanitizers. When I come back from outdoors, because I'm the one that goes and does whenever the shopping has to be done. They send me on it because I'm expendable in this family.
Wow.
But when I come back into the
not
house,
say that.
I strip all the way down. I guess someone right now just threw up just at the thought of that.
Oh my God.
Robert stripping all the way down. Okay, sorry about that. I'll give you a chance to get yourself together. We got strip all the way down, and then I go put my clothes in a bag.
Wipe down the car, we wipe down the groceries, we wipe down the handles, the doors.
Well, we do a whole thing, yeah. So you do the same thing. Wash your hands, disinfect your surroundings, use hand sanitizers, use proper sanitary practices, and most of all, if you feel sick, seek professional medical help.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to thank each of you for joining. We're going to be here again next week at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to start going into some specific areas of how this theoretical concept plays out in various specific areas of family life. And so I want you to join us next week at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for Tune Up Tuesdays, because even the smoothest running family needs a Tune Up Tuesday. We'll see y'all again next week.
See you next week.
Season with Grace Unboxed also provides healthy relationship training and leadership development for businesses, churches, and community organizations. For a free consultation to discuss your team's needs, please contact us at our website at swg-unboxed.org. That's swg-unboxed.org. bowensbooks.org.